You see the brawl at McDonald's in Costa Rica where a single man KO'd 9 dudes? Whoa, what? What are his hands made out of? Bricks? So here's the Dexerto article on it. Oh wait, this isn't the same one. This is Canada. Wait, is the other source wrong? Because how many brawls broke out over Pokemon cards at McDonald's?
McDonald's Canada shouldn't treat customers like this. He says he has no books or Pokemon cards left in stock. There's a whole rack of them. He gives me a donkey 2 times in a row. McDonald's, I want to press charges on McDonald's.
Wait. What is he pressing charges for? This is discrimination. You're discriminating against Redditors here by not giving me these Pokemon cards. What is the charge? I don't understand what he'd even go for.
No, I'm not being worse than a sick child. I want
yes, you are.
Put it online. Put it online. I'm being targeted.
Oh, I will if you want.
Being targeted?
I wasn't going to,
Please
but I
put
will.
It online. I'll continue because Churro, Nova Scotia, Canada, McDonald's, and say they don't have a book or Pokemon cards in the building.
Brother. It's just some McDonald's Pokemon cards, man. He's so heated. And he's saying it all like so stern.
Cell phone.
Yeah, you can stand it. You can go all the way. You can.
I'm making a scene because you're being bad. Yes, sir, you are.
This is the weirdest argument ever. Now he's speaking like he's speaking like he's talking to a child. You're being bad. They haven't done anything wrong. They don't have any Pokemon cards for him. Just go to another McDonald's, please.
Excuse you. Exactly. I'm dealing with this manager here. Maybe he can get.
This can't be real.
Honey, back up.
I'll press charges, dude.
Oh no, not the charges again.
Then do it, bro. I'm saying do it. You said you do it.
I'll never understand why people that look like this guy, who I know has never been in a physical confrontation in his life, feels so confident to challenge someone else to punch them. That's never going to end well. Like, that's just the worst bluff to make. Anyone can sniff out that you're not exactly a fighter. So why even try and, like, shake that hornet's nest? Just because they want to sue? Maybe, I guess. He does keep threatening lawsuits. Maybe that is, like, the overarching plan. But still, it doesn't seem worth it. Try to get hit so he has evidence, the classic. I guess, yeah. I feel like there has to be extenuating circumstances, right? Like, I'm not an attorney, but let's say I was representing this guy, assuming he gets in there and feeds him a knuckle sandwich. I feel like I could make an argument like he literally asked me to do it. I was fulfilling a request. He told me. He said he wanted me to. What am I supposed to do? To decline? I'm a nice guy. It's better to give than to receive. So I gave him the gift of a knuckle sandwich. He asked for it. There has to be a way, right? Like, you are literally telling him to. Yeah, he's a consenting adult.
You're fucking worst nightmare.
Yeah, right. Meet you outside, bitch.
All right, let's go.
I'll meet you.
Let's find out.
No.
Look at you. How big are your ankles? Size small?
I'm like a
What?
buddy.
I'd bite your nose off, bitch. Hunt! Hunt! Hunt!
This can't be real.
Hunt! Hunt! Hunt!
This cannot be real.
In the face, man.
Do it! Do it! On camera!
Okay, this can't. Well, no, wait. That was certainly a punch. And I don't think that they're talented enough actors to sell something like that. That made full contact. How can someone end up like this over Pokemon cards? And then he's insulting the guy's ankles? How does this happen? What went wrong? This is very anti-Canadian. I'm sorry, Canadians out here have to see that this happened on your soil. I'm so sorry. What are your ankles, a size small? It's such an interesting insult. It's not even fighting words. I'd just be confused. Nobody insults my ankles but me. Put 'em up, Buster. I've come so far, I've got to see who wins this. God, it's like they're throwing punches in a dream. It's turned into aggressive hugging.
We can.
You done? Huh?
You had enough yet? Huh? Say uncle.
Get the security.
I got the squeeze on you now.
You now.
I'm gonna beat my Pokemon cards out of you like it's a Mario coin block. The fight. Oh no! He threw the hat. Come on, have some respect. This is so fucking fucking weird. This is so weird. Like, even the fight is confusing to me. Not that I'd necessarily be good in a fight either, but I'd like to think if I got into a scuffle, it wouldn't look like this. I'd be mad about the Pokemon cards, and I'm even more mad that I'd fight like this. Like, the whole thing would just make me so upset. Some wrestling. Yeah, some good old-fashioned wrestling.
Go with me or you're done! You hit me! And I will fucking hurt you! I'm ready to bite you!
No, not happy Pikachu during all of this. Come on, guys.
Camera, you hit me!
Oh, no, not a round two, please.
Look at that!
Please.
Now I can,
Not again. It's enough.
now I can fight. Come on.
Team Rocket wins again. Please, no.
You hit me!
At least turn the camera, please.
Come on! No! Call the clock!
Oh, he's got the chair.
Call the clock!
He's got the steel chair.
You wanna go?
Hello?
Oh, God, no, he's got the chair too? Fuck.
You got one, I got one. You attacked me!
Can you send some?
You punched me!
Can we go out the back door?
Super unrelated, but he keeps saying that, and every time he does, it reminds me of that iconic scene from Knock Knock with Keanu Reeves, where he's talking to the two girls that tied him to the chair, and he keeps going, I didn't fuck you, you fucked me! You fucked me! You came into my house and you sucked my dick! You fucked me! It has that same energy.
Give me back my
I
fucking
just
bag!
wanted food. I just wanted food. That's all.
You wanted food and you got so much more. I'd be pumping my fist like, thank you. I don't know why she's upset. I mean, that was a great show. And now you get his Pokemon cards. Do you think he actually bit him? Yes. Oh yeah, I do, for sure. Bro, they didn't use any rage arts. Yeah. They didn't use any meter, unfortunately, no supers either. Bro's fighting over a Happy Meal toy. He was fighting over Pokemon cards, man. Show some respect. Yeah, I'm wrapping up 2023 with the season finale, my own little YouTube rewind, where I go back through the internet's most insufferable worms from this year that I haven't previously covered, and I make fun of them now. Yesterday, it was Illuminati on the chopping block. Today, we're shooting spitballs at Jack Doherty. Jack Doherty's infamy online reached its crescendo about a month ago, hitting its peak, mainly because he became known as just this punching bag. His face was a knuckle sandwich magnet, so most of his viral clips were him getting slapped or being involved in some kind of fight that broke out, because he truly is just an insufferable asshole to be around. Now, make no mistake, don't misconstrue my words, Jack Doherty isn't the one fighting. He's the one getting beat like a drum, and I don't think I've ever seen him throw anything beyond one wet noodle punch that didn't connect. He usually has his bodyguards fight his battles for him, with conflicts that he starts and instigates, but he's around fights all the time. It's just, when you get near Jack Doherty, it's like a Dementor. It sucks the fun out of everything, and everyone gets uncomfortable and mad at him. He just has this indescribable X-Men mutation about him that makes him impossible to be around while also being in a good mood. So I'm going to go ahead and show you his most viral clip that ever came out from him, the legacy for which he will always be remembered. This is his magnum opus.
Go. Da-na-na-na.
What? Little Prompt, what you gonna do? What you gonna do, Little Prompt? Yeah. Yeah.
This is Jack's iconic shtick, where he walks around causing a ruckus, just being this menace to society, harassing people, and then trying to get a rise out of them. The second someone looks like they're ready to get confrontational with Jack, he has his security guards swoop in and stop it, just put the kibosh on it immediately. He travels with his bodyguards that are basically his babysitters, his nannies, really his guardian angels. They're the only thing that's kept him alive this long, because he is such a piece of shit. Everybody wants to fight him when he does things like this, but his bodyguards protect him. And he still has the gall, the fucking chutzpah, to stand behind his bodyguards, peek his head over, and continue to insult the person. He actually looks like a cartoon villain out of Popeye. Like, look at the way he conducts himself. It's so bad. This would be the most embarrassing moment to somebody else, but for Jack, it's his proudest moment. Now, when it comes to insulting Jack Dorky here, I actually have skin in this game. Just like an 80s action movie tagline, this time it's personal. When I say he is insufferable to be around, I'm not just basing that off of the videos I see of him. I actually know Jack Doherty in real life. In fact, he was in one of my videos 4 years ago, but you probably didn't know that because I did my absolute best to edit him out of it. It's from a video 4 years ago when the local Tampa Police Department challenged me to complete their police academy. This was during the time where I was watching live PD and talking about police activity, making jokes about it. They invited me out there to try it myself. Well, Jack Doherty actually happened to be there on that same day. Despite my best efforts to rewrite history, you can't fully erase the stain. You can see the cringe cryptid right there in the yellow shirt. This is a young Jack Doherty spotting. At the time of filming that video, Jack would have been 16 years old. And I know it's not exactly cool to bully a child, but this wasn't a child, this was a demon. It's not just me that had an extremely negative impression of Jack on that day. Matt, Andrew, Tiana, and the officers all had nothing good to say about their experience being around Jack Doherty for like the 6 hours we were there. He was one of the most disrespectful people I had ever seen in person. For some reason, he was extremely loud most of the day, so anytime he tried to talk, he'd kind of yell it at the officers or anyone he was talking to, I suppose. It was like he was trying to get into a screaming match on an Xbox Live lobby for no reason. Like, I think that was just him trying to be hype for his video or something, but man, it was extremely annoying. But beyond that, anytime we were about to do one of the tests, or if the officers were trying to tell us something about one of the tests, he'd be like interrupting them frequently, and the yelling was giving me a goddamn headache. Like, none of us had anything positive to say about Jack. The only thing is, we all understood that he was a child, and he found internet fame extremely young. So clearly that had a poisonous effect on his mind, and we had all just kind of expected that he's going through a phase most likely, and he'd eventually grow out of this. But not only did he not grow height-wise, he also didn't grow personality-wise. His attitude is exactly the same. His face looks exactly the same as when he was a 13-year-old boy, which is highly unlucky for him, and maybe that explains why he lashes out so often. But overall, over the last 4 years, he's just gotten worse. He's gotten more degenerate, more aggressive, more hostile, and he's just a giant piece of shit now. Since he's had internet fame for so long, he truly believes that he is some kind of deity, this kind of internet god, and everyone is beneath him. He thinks he's superior to just the plebeians around him, so he uses all the strangers he comes in contact with on stream as props for his content, and his big thing is still basically having his bodyguard protect him all of the time, which is so fucking pathetic. But anyway, let's dive into a bit more of the Sack Doherty lore. So he makes most of his money through OnlyFans. He manages a lot of OnlyFans girls, as well as having an OnlyFans of his own, which I think if you sign up for that, you need to be put on some kind of FBI watch list, because this looks like a child. That is a very fucking awful OnlyFans page to be subscribing to. You probably need to be investigated. But he makes all of his money there, basically, and he will never let you forget he is making a lot of money through managing these OnlyFans models. He frequently posts these flexes, talk shit all you want, you wish you could spend this much on your credit card in just 2 weeks, and it's just an absurd amount of money that he's dumping on garbage. He posts these at least once a week, and it's clearly engagement farming. He's just baiting people into getting mad at him and just shitting on him, because he's realized that that is his formula to success. He'll just cosplay as the communal urinal for the internet to collectively come take a piss in, because it gets him a little money off of like the Twitter posts, but maybe it gets him a couple extra OnlyFans subscribers or a few curious kids that'll watch his stream to see what kind of degeneracy unfolds. He's basically playing the villain. He's leaning into the role. I always find this to be an extremely sad path to take, because he is actually just becoming the clown on purpose, and eventually he's going to grow up. It's going to happen at some point, and it's going to be nothing but shame for him, I imagine, because who in the world would possibly want the legacy of just being the hated douchebag? That's not something to be proud of. Even if you do have a lot of money in your bank account from it, I can't imagine it feels good to explain to your friends and family how you got that money, because everyone dislikes you and makes fun of you. Like, there's no way that that's a rewarding experience. I don't think there's any reason to show you any more of his clips. They're all just infuriating garbage. It's just eye-rolling trash. Like, even just yesterday, or maybe it was the day before, He got into a confrontation with a bouncer over like a fake ID or something, according to the headlines. And it's once again just Sack Doherty being the little goblin that he is, just this little douchebag and just an entitled asshole. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about him a little bit since I haven't talked about him all year, and I do actually know him. I'm using know really loosely. I met him one time, but that was enough to get an extremely accurate gauge on the kind of person he was then, and all I could do was pray that he wouldn't be that person in the future. But he became so much worse down the line, which is almost impressive, actually. So yeah, just wanted to talk about him a little bit. That's it. So yeah. Pardon my grease, it was rainy today, and I went bowling. Got a custom bowling ball so I can finally transcend the deity of the lane that I was meant to be. But doesn't matter. We're not here to talk about my bowling prowess and my pursuit of the perfect game. We're here to talk about a disastrous wedding. Throughout the years, I've covered many awful weddings, and there's just something very sad about a special day super stinker that I can't help but just be fascinated by and talk about. This isn't the main video I want to talk about here, but I want to lead with this because I don't know if it's a hot take, but I can't fucking stand the wedding cake smashing trend that some people subscribe to. Wedding cakes are so expensive, and you just throw it in the face of the bride or the groom, and it immediately changes the whole tone of the wedding into something aggressive, and sometimes just ends as like a WWE match or an argument or a fight. Like, I don't get why people do this. I've been to many weddings, and I've never seen anyone do that. I only see it in TikTok and YouTube videos from weddings. So this one I think really encapsulates it the best as to everything wrong with it. I can't find the original clip. I can only find it through Ray Like Sunshine channel. But there's a lot to unpack in just that short clip. So first of all, the wedding cake looks heavy as shit. When he throws it on the bride, she like visibly like falls with it. That's like a 20-pound cake. It's like getting hit with a dumbbell. And then even once she like recovers from the initial stun and staggering from it, he goes back into the DPS phase and hits her again with the wedding cake. And you can see how upset she is. Also, the groom's out here looking like a frat douchebag on spring break, and he's got a gun on his hip with him. I don't know why he'd bring his gun to the wedding. Maybe he expected to get pulled up on by his ops, so he needed to stay strapped and ready with that big iron on his hip. But he looks like James Bond on vacation. What's supposed to be one of the biggest days in a person's life is now just been reduced to this guy acting like it's a tailgate party. Unbuttoned shirt, beer belly hanging out, chaos. But anyway, let's get into the video, the main video I wanted to talk about.
And just share with you the most beautiful moments of my life.
I'd hate to have to follow that. Anywho, Cody?
I promise to smack that ass every chance I get. That's all I got.
He's giggling like he's trying to do an impression of the Joker following that statement. So, I cut out the beginning, obviously, but it was a really heartfelt message from the bride. Her vows were really sweet, and the production was really good, too. It made it seem like it was the conclusion to a long-running romance slice-of-life anime or something. Like, it was wholesome stuff. And then immediately, Cody follows it up by just saying, "I promise to smack that ass every chance I get." There's no shortage of people treating their wedding day like it's a stand-up comedy special on Netflix, and it usually leads to a bunch of cringe, but this is cringe with a little poop on top. This is just disrespectful to your wife and also the families of not only her, but everyone in attendance. Your side, their side. It's just uncomfortable. What the fuck is the point of that? Like, it's not as bad as the other wedding vows I covered last year where the guy said, "As long as you keep my balls empty and I can, fuck you hard enough to make the bed shake every night and turn you into a toaster strudel, like cum on her tummy," like, he's happy. That was definitely worse. But for some reason, when I'm watching Cody's wedding video here, it makes me feel even yuckier. This is just the beginning. So, of course, he starts to follow up that heartfelt sentiment from his wife. He's like, "You know what? I only care about those cheeks and making them jiggle. Can't wait to clap them." That's all I got.
This is either going to be the most beautiful couple ever, or we're all going out in the same bolt of lightning. Either way, Cody, please proceed.
She's the brains of the operation, so.
Okay.
Well, where's the other one?
Apparently you don't put that on here.
Cody,
It's on the wrong hand.
yeah, so that's the right. Yeah. So let's try that again.
Back here.
And maybe say something.
You can see deep shame wash over the face of the guy who's supposed to announce them man and wife. He knows that this is some dysfunctional shit right here. He can't help but let Cody know that he's a fool, a fucking oaf. So he's trying to, like, mentor him on how this should go. Like, hey, brother, maybe say a little bit more than smacking her ass. Also, maybe you should put the ring on the proper hand. Dude doesn't know right from left, clearly, so he has to, like, go mirror it to figure it out.
Love you. Promise to frustrate you all the time.
Promise to frustrate you all the time. Good.
Promise I'm not going to listen to you. I mean, I will listen. I got that backwards, didn't I?
Is that it? Come on, Cody. Are you sure?
I didn't write nothing down.
That's what you're going out with?
That's what I'm going with.
Cool.
And they say chivalry is dead. How laughable. They've clearly never met Cody. A very profound moment here that we get to share in, and I can't help but feel happy for these two. Cody seems like a real peach. I do love how visibly annoyed everyone around Cody is with his antics here. Like, he's getting all the chances imaginable to try and salvage this. Like, say something nice. He's like, is this how you're going to send it off? Is this really what you're going to say to your wife here? And he's like, yep, that's it. It's like, whatever. And then I'm pretty sure there was someone else that just said, come on. I feel like I heard someone faintly go, come on. Which I get because this is an eye-rolling moment here.
Touching. Exchange. I guess there's only one thing left to do, and that's for me to do my part. So, by the power vested in me by the state of Kentucky, the United Life Church, and the Church of Bacon, I
Church of Bacon? More like Church of making that ass clap. Am I right, Cody?
now pronounce you man and wife. You may seal it with a kiss.
Ooh, lovely.
Cody, can you please stop moaning? This isn't a porno, it's a wedding ceremony. Jesus Christ. I still think the worst wedding ever held is the one I covered like 5 years ago. The crazy bitch wedding, where the bride walked out to the Buck Cherry song Crazy Bitch, but not the official recording, a karaoke version sung by one of her friends who I'm pretty sure was gargling glass in her throat before performing. And it is not even a walkout, it's not even like a wedding march. She goes out there and puts on like a wedding striptease in front of everyone, kind of. It's like she was trying to give the entire ceremony a lap dance and turned it into the trashiest thing imaginable in front of a bunch of kids and like completely like normal family members who were just appalled at what they're witnessing. And then when she makes it to the stand, it turns out she's marrying like Diet Kid Rock and the Dirty Boys biker gang. That I still think is the worst ceremony this world has ever seen. But that doesn't make this one any less awful. And it gets even weirder after this moment.
I'm Cody's ex from high school. Yes, you may think that's weird, but it's probably more helpful than weird.
All right.
Because I can totally relate to whatever crazy stuff he puts KK through.
Why would you do that, though? Why would you bring your ex here to speak about you being a quirky, zany oddball? Why bring your ex in this wedding? That feels foul. Like, hey, I know we're getting married, but I'm bringing my ex-girlfriend from high school here. She's gonna give a banger speech, trust me. No, it's not. Why do you think that's weird? There's nothing wrong with being friends with your exes, but why do this for your wedding day? You're marrying this girl that you love, and for some reason you're calling in a previous girl you loved to speak about you. Why? I don't know. That doesn't feel right. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about this a little bit because I'm always interested in these wedding disasters. So that's really about it. See ya.
In just 2 weeks, I lost 36 pounds. I have more energy, better mood. I feel attractive again. And you can do it too. Just keep watching.
$69 Special Forces device turns men into beasts. It emulates over 50,000 crunches in 15 minutes, burning calories and melting fat up to 10 times faster than regular exercise. And because it was
A few months ago, I watched what had to be one of the wildest encounters I've ever seen. This is a vigilante predator hunter group that was busting the person they were investigating in public. And this goes completely insano style. It becomes cartoonish. It's almost like a Benny Hill chase scene here. I couldn't believe what was unfolding in front of me.
I am currently looking for my fiber.
Your what?
Fiber.
Fiber?
Yeah, because I gotta poop.
You gotta poop?
I'm constipated. I've been constipated.
Yeah?
Yeah.
This is a very interesting tactic. This is a high-level maneuver. He is claiming that he's not there at the meat spot for a 13-year-old boy. He's there to get some fiber so he can take a shit. He's been constipated, so he's there for some poop pills. And it doesn't take some galaxy brain genius to put together the puzzle pieces here, connect the dots, and deduce that he is on meth. You know, he's getting loopy off that poopy right now. He is high on meth, which isn't just speculation. At the end of the video, they released their entire investigation, screenshots of all the text messages that were exchanged between this guy and who he thought was a 13-year-old, and meth comes up a lot. Even right before meeting, meth was discussed, and as you can see in the title, he was arrested, and they did pretty much confirm meth was in his system.
Hey man, I can involve the police or we can have a conversation. You want to have a conversation?
Sure.
You want to turn around and talk to me?
I gotta find this first.
Hey bro, I can call the cops right now, or we can just have a conversation.
I'm actually really constipated, sir. Please, can you actually let me get my supplements so I can actually go home, so I can poop, and actually so I can poop well?
Step 1 should have been involving the authorities the second you found a real pedophile that was trying to meet up for sex with a 13-year-old and, like, get them smoking meth or whatever. I don't understand why that wasn't the first thing you did. Luckily, there's spoilers in the title, so you know he does get arrested, but not for the reasons of this investigation. Some crazy shit happens towards the end. Had he involved law enforcement earlier, even from the start, I feel like this could have been far more effective. It seems like the first thing he did when he identified a real pedophile was try and figure out how to monetize it and make a viral video out of it or something. Because he gets like 2 different cameras out. He's got like the fucking Steadicam. He's got so many cameras set up. He's got like the GTA cinematic angle going on here. So it really feels like the number one concern was trying to figure out a way to monetize it. He also has like calls to action in the video to subscribe to his channel. He's got the People vs. Pred watermark. This shit is branded out of the wazoo. So it does really feel like the number one thing he was looking for here was a way of making money off of the bust, which is kind of weird. It is still good that this does lead to an arrest, but I really do wish it was handled with collaboration from the actual authorities.
Can you help me find fiber pills? Can you help me find fiber pills?
Do you want me to call the cops?
Why would you want to call the cops for me when I'm trying to find my fiber pills?
I know why you're here.
Why am I here?
To meet my 13-year-old little brother.
Who is that? I don't know who that is. Who is that? I have no clue.
Christ, where are they hiding the fiber pills in this bitch? Like, goodness gracious, are they underground? This man's out here trying to locate fiber pills, and it's like trying to find pirates' buried treasure, apparently. But anyway, you can see he's really starting to tweak quite a bit now. Things are getting escalated. The man filming is starting to call the cops, which is something I feel he should have done quite a long time ago. But we're only just beginning.
Hey buddy, is this you?
Can you please
Why do I have a picture of you? Is this
Why
you?
are you doing this to me?
Is this you? Is this a picture of you? Why do I have a picture of you?
What's this? What is it?
Why do I have a picture of you?
Oh my god, that's disgusting.
Why do I have a picture? Why do I have a picture of your ass?
Ew, 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 ew.
This guy's here to meet a 13-year-old boy for and to give him crystal meth.
Oh my god.
Negotiations crumble, diplomacy falls, and then things really pop the fuck off. So he shows him that he has a picture of this guy's asshole, and then we enter like the DPS check of the raid boss encounter here. So now he's chasing the pedophile around while shouting he's here to meet a 13-year-old boy for sex. The predators start shouting. Everyone in the shopping center is confused and maybe even a little frightened from this sudden explosion of yelling and all of that. And we also get close-ups of the meth molester's head, and it seems like he has a lot of dandruff. Not that that has anything to do with anything at all, it just struck me as, wow, that's a lot of dandruff. So he might want to pick up a bottle of Head and Shoulders on his way back to the poopy pill aisle.
This guy right here is here to meet a 13-year-old boy and to give him crystal meth.
Please,
Okay,
sir.
what's happening?
I'm trying
Call
to
the
find
cops.
you. Do you know where the
Call the
fiber
cops.
pills are?
Call the cops.
Sir,
This guy's here to meet a 13-year-old boy for. Don't touch me.
Sir,
Don't touch me.
Why? Stop.
Don't touch me and don't put your hands in front of my camera, bro.
Stop.
Who the are you?
Stop.
The cameraman here is really coming across like a combative asshole. Obviously, the store employee doesn't know the situation. He's not fucking omniscient. All he sees is two people screaming in his store while one of them has multiple cameras set up like he's out here trying to film a 360-degree music video. So he's just trying to get in the middle of this and like, hey, can you de-escalate it? You know, take it anywhere else. And for some reason, the Predator Buster is now starting to get mad at this guy who's just doing his fucking job. Like, he's done nothing wrong. He doesn't know what's happening here. He's just trying to de-escalate the situation.
This guy's here to meet a 13-year-old boy for. Get in front of my camera again, bro.
Because you're not.
Get in front of my camera again.
You don't have permission to film your camera
Who
here.
the f are you?
This is.
Who are you?
You need to leave.
Hey, buddy, get the f out of my way. Get the f out of my way.
You gotta leave my store.
No, I don't. Call the cops.
This guy seems like he was closer to fighting the store employee just doing his job than he was to fighting the actual pedophile that he was there to bust. This shit is crazy.
Why is this happening?
Why are you here to meet a 13-year-old
Why
boy?
would I do such a thing?
Then leave. Go home.
Can you let me find my fiber pills?
Oh, your fiber pills?
Where's the fiber?
Just when you thought it was starting to wrap itself up, this fucking guy goes back looking for fiber pills. He goes back to the fucking fiber pill aisle and keeps the whole song and dance going. We're in Act 2 now. It is incomprehensible the shit that is unfolding here. I can't believe that this actually is a real thing that happened and isn't some like staged, scripted fucking piece of, I don't know, fiction. It's unbelievable.
Why are you here to meet a 13-year-old boy?
Why are you here to harass me?
Why are you here to meet a 13-year-old boy?
Are you trying to prevent me? No, I'm gonna stop.
2235. Focus.
I'm a weirdo? Why do I have a picture of his asshole if I'm a weirdo? Why do I have a picture of his face? Look at it. Why do I have a picture of his face if I'm the weirdo?
Some of the other people around him start calling him a weirdo, the guy filming, to which he takes great offense. So he goes over to prove that he's not weird. So he goes and says, if I'm a weirdo, why do I have a picture of his asshole? Checkmate. Regular old Saul Goodman over here defending himself. I can't be weird, I have a picture of his butthole right here, look at this. He takes his phone around like it's show and tell. He passes it around saying, hey, look, I'm not weird, look, this is his anus. I don't know what the strategy is there. He could have easily explained, I'm conducting an investigation, this guy was trying to meet up with my 13-year-old brother. That's a lot more easy to understand than like, hey, I'm not weird, this is this guy's ass. Like, I don't know what the thought process was. I think he was so lost and deep in fight mode that he was just trying to like get aggressive with everybody, even just completely innocent people that didn't understand what was happening.
Trying to meet up a little kid from the internet?
I saw a comment that perfectly described how this part in the parking lot plays out. They said he's acting like he's the 13-year-old boy running away from a pedophile. And that is so accurate. He's running around like hysterically screaming and just going absolutely ballistic. He runs in a circle and then even lays on the ground for a little bit, kind of wiggling around.
Toxic therapy from your vape.
Nobody's texting back.
Let's jump to conclusions.
They're all hanging out?
Mm-hmm.
Without me?
Exactly. Stay with that.
Is your vape making things worse? Text DIGIT to 8870.
Hello, Moto.
Kelly Blue Book Instant Cash Offer is an official offer to buy your car. Just enter your vehicle ID information.
If flirting, the worst attempt If you've got a full belly, prepare yourself because you might just puke upon seeing and listening to this unbelievable, embarrassing cringe. This is the worst flirt. If you've got a full belly, prepare yourself because you might just puke upon seeing and listening to this unbelievable, embarrassing cringe. This is the worst flirting, the worst attempt at wooing a potential romantic interest I have ever seen. This is like playing a visual novel and then scaring away all of your potential love interests at once and getting the worst ending. Now, I'd like to give a bit of context here to the situation before we really dive into the meatballs from our spaghetti entree of cringe. A user on Twitter posted screenshots as well as videos from a random guy who had reached out to her on Facebook because he had seen her on a dating app. The two didn't even match. And I guess he must have assumed that it was some kind of glitch because they were destined to be lovers. It was fate that was pulling them together, but unfortunately technology had a malfunction. So he took matters into his own hands, tracked her down on Facebook, of which she had no connection to the dating app. She didn't connect any of her socials to the dating app, so he did some super sleuthing to find her on Facebook and reach out to her there to try and win her heart. And let's see how that went. Kelsey! I love that intro right there. It's straight out of Scary Movie, like that old commercial. What's up? He's coming at her like they're best friends from way back in the day. He then executes Order 66 and kills all potential for romance. He goes, okay, shit. Mayhaps that was a tad overly enthusiastic for a stranger danger message on a sunny Friday morning. There is so much quirk to the way that he texts that I'm getting uncomfortable. I can say with a high level of confidence that he is definitely in some kind of theater troupe because he is typing like he's acting out some kind of skit for a play. It's a little much here. My bad. Let's go with, I can explain. Fuck yeah, that works. Then drops a couple of emojis and then one of these bad boys. How she didn't immediately fall in love with this man is beyond me. This is aggressive. And it's already creepy because it's a complete stranger who saw her on a dating app and then tracked her down in order to, really directly communicate with her. So, let's go over where things went wrong here. I'll go ahead and get the playbook out like John Madden and say where everything fell apart for the offense. From the start, basically. There is nothing that's even remotely salvageable from what he tried to do here. There is nothing more annoying than texting like you're talking to yourself during the text. Like when you say something like, Kelsey, mayhaps that was a tad too far on a stranger danger sunny Friday afternoon. Goodness gracious, how do I save this? Like that is so fucking lame. That is shameful. That is just downright shameful. I am shocked he didn't drop like an asterisk nuzzles you, and then an asterisk, you there? Yeah, and then one of those emojis. So she said, sorry, do I know you? And then it reactivates this cringe protocol. He says, oh hey, no, we don't know each other. Sincere apologies for the subterfuge. Oh brother, this guy stinks. Dropping subterfuge here in your creepy approach to a stranger. If you give me the tiniest bit of room, I'd be happy to explain. I reckon that said explanation will bring laughs and smiles. P.S. Not trying to rope you into a pyramid scheme to sell fancy Tupperware. Yet. He's trying very hard to be self-aware, and when he starts sending his voice memos to her, he reiterates 1,000 times like, this is weird, you're probably gonna think I'm weird, and then just keeps doing it. He sends so many voice messages that go for a long, long time. It's making my voice crack because of how fucking embarrassing it is. And you want to know the wildest part? I'm getting ahead of myself, and it's a spoiler. He has done this to multiple women, apparently. Other women have come forward after this tweet and all of this, the receipts here and all that went viral, with other women showing their... Anyone remember the rise of Sigma males? While many of you may have forgotten about them, they haven't gone quietly into the night. There's still a very active community of Sigma males that continue to post content reaffirming that they are the best, the top of the food chain. And sometimes I'll occasionally peek my curious little head in there and see what's going on in the Sigma male community. And there's a channel that does a lot of it, and they recently posted a video called Why Sigma Males Are Seriously Dangerous. And it's the same standard shit where it just spouts a bunch of nonsense that's supposed to sound hard. Like, the Sigma male community treats each other like they're all secretly James Bond. Number 5. Why a Sigma male is seriously dangerous? Well, he'll pour a bowl of cereal without ever adding the milk, because the milk is a hindrance to his cold, calculating mind. His slight lactose intolerance isn't a weakness, it's a strength that he uses to get the best of his enemies, and they never see it coming. That kind of stuff. And there's nothing overly interesting about the video itself. I'll just go ahead and play like a couple clips real fast. What I want to focus on is actually the comments.
Many people mistake the Sigma male as the shy guy, thinking he knows nothing. Little do they know that this is how he wants it to be perceived. He is not shy, he just doesn't want to be seen. He knows exactly what he's doing and is not one to be underestimated. He is the quiet one who absorbs everything.
It's just 13 minutes of this with footage from a bunch of popular movies, and it sounds like they're either describing a stalker or Batman. And what's really weird to me is it's not really motivational. If I was someone who self-identified as a Sigma, hearing this stuff would make me feel really bad about it, actually.
While the Sigma man may seem like a harmless introvert, he is actually a dangerous opponent you don't want to mess with. He may not have big muscles or a loud voice, but his sharp mind and strategy are his most valuable weapons.
I just don't really get what kind of fantasy world this is trying to appeal to, where everyone is trying to pick on and kill the Sigma male or something. So this is like talking about, well, you don't want to do that. You don't want to poke the sleeping bear that is the Sigma male. They act like Sigma males are being hunted, rounded up in the streets, piles of corpses of Sigma males. Like, I don't know why all of this Sigma male stuff is always about, like, opponents. Like, you don't want to mess with a Sigma male. Very difficult to deal with opponent. And it's all spoken as if it's some kind of nature documentary from the BBC with David Attenborough commentating it.
Some people's unpredictability can really put you on edge, especially when you push them too far. It's like walking on a tightrope with no safety net. It's not just the fact that Sigma men are unpredictable. It's the way they make you feel when you can't anticipate their reactions. This can be seriously risky, especially if you're in a confrontational situation with a Sigma.
I won't bother showing you any more clips from the video itself. I think you get it. It's 13 minutes of this. Here's why the Sigma male's so dangerous and so badass. Sigma male's unpredictability makes him the most fearsome foe imaginable. It's like playing a game of chess against a Sigma, but he can see your moves, and you can't see his. But then it turns out the Sigma is actually playing a game of checkers the entire time, and you fell right for his trap. King me. But don't, because the Sigma male doesn't want to be king. He'd rather pull the strings from the shadows like the puppet master he is. It's 13 minutes of that. And for some reason I don't fully understand, this kind of stuff is exactly what the Sigma male community loves to hear and endlessly consume like some junk food. So in the comments section, it's a bunch of people telling each other their Sigma stories as well as giving a TED talk on the beauty of being a Sigma male. It is amazing. So right now this is one of the top comments. You don't need to fear Sigma males, which immediately to me seems like it should be a red flag if people are afraid of you in general. Like, maybe there's some self-reflection that should be done to not make people feel on edge around you. That would be my perception of it. But again, I think it's kind of just diving into like playing this Sigma character. I don't know if people fully believe in it. I think it's just kind of a for fun thing. It's just that if you harass him, be it on the workplace, the neighborhood, verbally or physically, he is likely to knock you down in one way or another and when you least expect it. Normal people will usually interpret him as being a little shy, while aggressive, dominant people will take him for being an easy prey, and they won't even know what hit them. It may take them a considerable amount of time to put the pieces together and figure out what actually happened. Sigma males are not some kind of dangerous James Bond people. They are first and foremost characterized by going their own way, and, as a consequence, dominant, aggressive people will seriously underestimate them. This is what I'm talking about, though, where a lot of them seem to be living in this world where they feel as though everyone's out to get them. So then they retreat into these corners where they, like, prop each other up like they're underestimating us. And that's their biggest mistake. Sigmas will rise and grind to the very top, and then they'll all rue the day they underestimated us, and they won't even see it coming. Now, if I was to cosplay a psychologist, I have noticed a common thread throughout all of the Sigma content and comments over the years, which is always being misunderstood, being underestimated or neglected by society, and then a lot of what they talk about is getting revenge for that and just kind of taking that power back for themselves. And I'm not just trying to shit on Sigma males, I actually find it somewhat sad because I feel like a lot of it stems from things not going the way they wanted it to while growing up, and now at this point, they've kind of pushed themselves into a bubble where they're surrounded by people that also haven't had the best time. So they've now made it into this Sigma bubble for which that gives them a level of comfort knowing other people there, and they push everyone else away. So it's just, I don't know, the whole situation with this Sigma shit, like alphas versus Sigmas versus Omega males, like that whole, grand cosmic war, has just been so weird to watch unfold on the internet as more and more people lock themselves away inside. But anyway, let's just read some more Sigma comments, I suppose. I can recall many times in my life that people were very surprised at me. One person said, "I didn't know you hated in you." I think it meant had it in you. At another time, someone said, "How did you do that? He is much bigger than you." I wrote some poems one time and recited them in front of a large group of people that knew me well. No one expected that of me. Not the most specific description of Sigma male activities here, but it makes me curious for more knowledge on that. What is the "how did you do that? He's much bigger than you"? Is it referring to a fight? How did you do that? You crushed him with your telekinetic mind abilities. That's incredible. He's so much bigger than you. How'd you do it? And then I remember another time when Uncle Ben pulled me aside in a car ride and said, "Sigma, with great power comes great responsibility." And I've lived my life that whole way. So then I read poems to people. Like, it's very clear in a lot of these comments, the people behind the keyboard are very young. And I feel like if you get lost in this like Sigma versus Alpha versus Omega kind of shit, you are immediately setting yourself up to go down a path that's not going to lead to the best outcomes that you'd probably want. Sigmas are like snipers lying in wait, sometimes waiting for years, patiently waiting for the right moment to gently squeeze the trigger. The target never knew what hit them, and even better, never knew who fired the shot. And then someone replied to that comment with this, and it seems like they're fighting amongst themselves in this. So this is a Sigma versus Sigma, so stand the fuck back. This is up there with like Godzilla versus King Ghidorah, like the kaijus are throwing down. "And I am not moved at all. You sound as though no one can read and get the jump before you get the jump on them. Being unreadable is readable in this game. Like the image of the guy in the still shot before the video, that's readable to me. Unless you have a divine nature, you will give an indication somewhere." And then someone else replied to that, "You would have to basically be a mind reader, and even then, you are likely still 2 steps behind." I feel like they just watched a really cheesy 80s action movie, heard a line similar to this, and decided to drop it in response to the sniper line. Like, what I don't even understand what that's supposed to mean. Being unreadable is readable in this game. What game? What game is being played right now? What is going on? It's just this really desperate desire to be like a secret badass or be like super special. And I think an important lesson that extends well beyond just Sigmas exclusively is to accept that there's nothing wrong with just being normal. Like, you don't need to have some kind of quirky, special personality trait that defines you. You can just be normal and enjoy life that way. It just seems like the internet's corrupted everyone's brain into believing that being average is boring and a bad way of living, when I just totally disagree. I don't know how many times that I've been accused of being unassuming. It almost gets boring. I immediately have to interject. Who's accusing you of being unassuming? I've never met anyone in the world that would come up to a stranger and be like, "Hey, geez, you're like really unassuming, you know that, bud?" Like, I just can't imagine that being common. But anyway, however, a lot is true. Sigmas hit you like a cobra and are very strategic in their thinking. We are considered to be weak when we avoid confrontation, but when we can, we do not let go and hit back when the moment is right. The effects are devastating. The opponents do not know what has hit them. At work, I have colleagues who think they have the upper hand, but no, it is me manipulating them. They still think they are winning. Once again, just another example of how all of this is putting you against everyone else, making everything a you versus them mentality, which I think is the most unhealthy way of living life. Constantly being in this imaginary, invisible competition with all of the strangers around you is a recipe for just making yourself miserable. Sigma males know what will happen sometimes years in advance, when no one else has any clue, not because they're psychic, but because their different perspective allows them to see things that are obvious, but which are usually hidden in everyone else's blind spot. Alphas march uninformed into battle. They declare a war and fight until the conflict is resolved by military means. Sigmas hide in plain sight. They observe everything that is going on and plan 10 steps ahead with extreme precision. They are a one-man army. But they rarely have to fire a single shot, because they know exactly when to strike and how to avoid getting caught. Sigmas are the saboteurs. They break the enemy by silently creating circumstances that make his life hell, and makes his victory impossible to attain. What in tarnation? Listen, many do not even see their part in the cause of why the Sigma is what they are, but others just become a crybaby and about nothing, which is so disturbing and so shallow, and then they project their inner mess on the Sigma, and I have had so many cases that mechanism was projected and falsely assumed, and wrong conclusions are being made that it is healthy and perfectly normal that they will get hit because they ask for it. If someone keeps kicking your legs, for instance, it is normal that at some point you will get a huge shitload of a predictable kickback, and they even dare to feel surprised that kicking someone continuously leads to retribution, especially when you set boundaries in clear and decent manner. Is anyone understanding this huge blind spot of some that are deliberately attacking Sigmas? Because I would like to learn why many people would behave like that. I think that says all that needs to be said. I don't know what was said there, but it was words for sure. I don't know who's attacking Sigmas. Maybe like making jokes occasionally, but like a lot of what they describe feels like they're about to commit an act of violence or something in the comment section. Like some of it feels genuinely a bit unhinged. Anyway, though, again, there is nothing wrong with being quiet or anything like that. You don't need to be like lashing out for that or trying to find reasons for why you might be quiet. Well, it's actually because I'm a secret badass who's always cold and calculating, planning my next move to overthrow the alphas. It doesn't need to get into fanfic. There's nothing wrong with just being average and normal. There's nothing wrong with it. There really isn't. Just calm down. There's not this big war with alphas against omegas versus betas versus sigmas and all of this. It's just not that deep. But, you know, I just wanted to talk about this a little bit because I've been back on that sigma rabbit hole, and it's getting weirder than it was like a year or two ago. So that's really about it. See ya.